After the first legs out in the last 32 in the Europa League, some teams are already one step into the next round. But what about those games that are too evenly poised? Well, we'll take a look at all of them coming at you next. Once again with another prediction. So today we'll take a look at the last 32 out of the Europa League second leg, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, I said, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe to get your bang out of all things Blackburn Rovers later. Europa League relay, World Football Review here under one Ruski. That's right, of course. Some of the big boys, the likes of Spurs and Manchester United, have already got themselves huge goal leads heading into the second leg, and will be probably likely to play their youth teams, of course. But of course, it could all change in the second legs, and we'll take a look at all of it in just 1 second. If you're new, of course, check out the links. I want a big shout out, of course, to the Patreons. What? What are you talking about? I said my Patreons. That's right. Of course, we've had an increase in the past couple of days. So a big shout out to, of course, Tom Beresford. He is back. And of course, you know me. I said Alan MC. I said you know me, Alan MC. That's right. What did? They went over to the website here, patreon.com/overseas, and put their faith into this madman joining into one of these levels, of course, to make it 25 patrons, trying to get up to 50 by the end of the calendar year. It'd be an absolute treat if we could do that. Of course, it would be able to kick on another level. Got massive 2 years planned, of course. Big year this year, Euros, Copa America next year, World Cup. Got a lot of shit to be talking about, and I want you guys to come with me on the way. So make sure you check out the links, of course, if you want to join the band of brothers. Of course, we'd love to have you on there as, of course, this journey progresses. So let's get into it, of course. Take a look at the first legs, and of course my picks and your picks and all that kind of stuff. So here we bloody go. Where are we? Where are you, Dirk? We'll do one of those soon as well, of course, some geo guesses. So let's turn the clock back, of course. I'm a little bit late on this one. I should have done these on Friday, but of course a little bit mad for time. So we'll start with Wolfsberger. I'll get Spurs 4-1 win for Spurs in the end. Some young men, Gareth Bale, Lucas Moura, Carlos Vinicius on the score sheet, giving Spurs the win. Marco Lindell getting off for Wolfsberger. Could be good. Could be an important goal. I actually remember the 2-1 myself. Not great, not brilliant, but it'll do just fine. Next, of course, Kiev. They got a draw against Bruges, 1-1 in the end. Amid Vitaly Brzezinski on score sheet, Brandon Mitchell as well, giving them this draw. Actually, remember the 2-0 win for Dinamo Kiev. Shame on me, of course. Manchester United, a comfortable winners over Sociedad, 4-0 in the end. Bruno Fernandes with the race, Rashford and Daniel James as well, giving them a comfortable win. Got the right amount of goals, but unfortunately didn't distribute them correctly, and I thought Sociedad failed to deliver on course one. We did have a watch along this week. Of course, we did watch Red Star going against AC Milan. There was goals in this one as well. 2-2 in the end. Absolutely, it was actually quite a good game. I haven't decided what we're going to watch this week, if anything. Random Pankev with a big for OG, Kieran Hernandez from the penalty spot. Jojulu Kukaku from the penalty spot for Red Star. Milan Pankov put the ball in his own net, or in the right net this time. Milan Rodic as well, get himself sent off an explosive game there. 2-2 in the end, 2-1 for me. Meanwhile, Slavia Praga against Leicester 0-0 on this one, 3-1 for me. Sparta Braga against Roma, 2-0 win for Roma over Braga, big win for them as well. Goal scorers on the day, I would tell you, big win for Roma. Edin Dzeko, Borja Morial as well. Rodrigo, Ricardo Asensio got himself sent off for Braga. He won't be there in the second leg. Krasnodar against Zagreb, 3-2 win for Zagreb, big win for them. Don't want to be playing those guys at all. Take a close look at the goal scorers there. Over in Russia, Marcus Berg, Victor Klesson as well on the score sheet, with Bruno Pekovic with a couple of goals there. Ivkeri Kembegovic, whatever his name is, for Zagreb, a 3-2 win. Meanwhile, of course, the game I should have been watching was this one. Of course, Young Boys burned 7 goals in it over Leverkusen, 4-3 in the end. I might have to watch the second leg, it'll probably be 0-0. Christian Fastnack, that's a donut over here. Jordan Sibiriciu, Michaela Itle, and Jordan Sibiriciu as well, with a couple of goals there. Patrick Schick with a brace, Musa Diaby as well on the score sheet for Leverkusen. 7 goals, actually remember the 3-1 win for Leverkusen. Another game of the day was, of course, Olympiacos over PSV. 6 goals in that badger over in Greece to make it very, very difficult. Of course, PSV will have to step up the plate in the second leg if they're going to go through. 2-0 win, we'll do it though. Andreas Buchelis on the score sheet. Jovan Mila, of course, former Sunderland man, I think. Yusuf El Harabi, Georgios Marisunas as well on the score sheet. Ivan Sahavi, a couple of goals there for PSV. Meanwhile, Benfica against Arsenal ended up as a 1-1 draw on this one. I didn't even know about this game. Bukayo Saka on the score sheet. Pizzi on the score sheet for Benfica, giving them the win. Another goal of the day, of course, was this one. one. Rangers 4-3 winners over Antwerp. That's probably the game of the day. I've got to watch next week, of course. Still in it. 4 away goals. Joe Aribo, Borja Basic with a couple of goals there. Found place by Ryan Kent as well. Felipe Araventi and Martin Hongola goals. Leon Rafalov as well. But he was second game himself for Antwerp as they crashed to this one at home. Salzburg against Villarreal. 2-0 win for Villarreal. Comfortable win for them Badgers as well. The La Liga team. Pado Asazar, Fernando Nino get the goals for Villarreal as they comfortably sidestep Salzburg. Meanwhile, of course, another game of the day here. Molde against Hoffenheim. 3-3 in the end. This could also be the game I watch. I don't know what I'm going to do. Munas de Boer with a brace. Christopher Baumgartner as well for Hoffenheim. Martin Ellegerson, Eric Underson and David Datto Fafana on the score sheet for Granada. Sorry for Molde on this one. 2-2 was my pick. 3-3 final score. Of course, Napoli had a shock against Granada. 2-0 win for Granada. This will probably be the game of the day. Of course, Napoli will have to chase it. So we might have a look at that one as well. Yangel Herrera Kennedy on the score sheet for Granada, giving them the win. Maccabi Tel Aviv against Shakhtar Donetsk. 2-0 win for Shakhtar. Away day win for them. Alan Patrick and Tite on the score sheet for them. And of course, Lille against Ajax. 2-1 win for Ajax on the road. Lille will chase this one as well. Goal scores. Timothy Weah, of course, George's son, Dusan Tadic and Brian Brobbery on the score sheet for Ajax as well. And as you can see, I got myself 4, which is pretty shitty. I need to up my game as well. Not great indeed. Let's take a look at, of course, your picks. If you're not to 4, you're in the shitface game like me. 5 to 9 shitface. So 10 plus, you're in the top bins, lads. And Russell Frost, you did shit like me, brother, but it's okay. It's a tough one, of course. Andreas also did all right. Lee 2021 also did good. Alex Weather did bits. Elgin Cow, fantastic. Jacob Nungare, is he okay? He bloody well is okay. He's a bag of shit like me. Olaji Ojo did fantastic. Of course, Yannick Buster did bits. Of course, Fernando Joseska Segermando also did alright. Bianca Molla also did fantastic, of course. Matt Gunner did poop. Vitanong did alright. Crappy SU did okay. Irish Stringer did poop. Codigo, he's alright. Well done to you, of course. James P50, oh great, you did okay. David did fantastic, of course. And Ultra Omar Murat, you did good, brother. You did good indeed. Ryan Long did okay. Jamie Chai, not too shabby. Mick Gallo, Mekanovic also did shite. Shane O'Donnell, well done, of course. Sam, fantastic. Hansworth did bits. Costa K, he's okay. Tom Stainer, well done to you, of course. And Carl McGuckin also did poop. There's some more here. Toby the Beast did okay. He did shit, mate. Alright, Esquivel, fantastic. Of course, Meister Fighter also did very well. Nicholas Mercus also did good. But what's that done to the table? Let's take a look at it, shall we? Of course, if your name's Jacob Nugane or Carl McFucking, bloody have take a bloody look somewhere else. But if your name's Cody Gaho, welcome back to the party. Shane O'Donnell, Bianca Moller, Gaming Charlie, James B50, Alex Weller, and Yannick Boss also did very, very good. Of course, picking up 7 this week. But what's that done to the overall table? Of course, it's been a while. It's been a bloody while. But of course, big movers. Who's at the top of the table? It is Yannick Bossler. He got himself 7 this week. Hansworth is also in contention as well. Where is he? He's down there with 5. Matt Gunner also. Where did he do? He also seeing him somewhere. He must be in there somewhere. I can't see Matt Gunner. Did he have a shit show? I think he might have had a shit show. But of course, it all gets very, very tight. I think this is probably one of the tightest contenders. Of course, you new guys probably have all the work to do to get themselves back into it. Of course, but this is the second leg. Of course, we're going to go through my picks for the second leg, and then we'll reveal what that does for, of course, the aggregate stuff, because that all comes into play. Kicking it off with Spurs up against Wolfsberger, of course. Played each other, of course, just the one time as a 4-1 win the other day for Spurs. Spurs winning in their 8 of the last 10 matches in the Europa League, scoring at least 2 goals in 10 of the last 11 matches. They're coming into this, Joe, very, very ropey form. Just 1 win the past 4 games. That 1 win was against Wolfsberger. As for Wolfsberger, they're coming into this winning 3, actually winning 4 of the past 6 games. Their only hiccup was against Rapid Vienna in the Austrian top flight, and of course up against Spurs last time around. I do anticipate the bookies' odds on this one, actually 4-1 on for Spurs on this one. 9-1 is your draw, 5-1 is your own. Of course, we're taking a look at the odds for this game, in this game alone, not the aggregate stuff. Of course, this game will take place on Wednesday. All the other games take place on Thursday. Gone with a 3-0 win for Spurs on this one. We'll take a look at the aggregate in a minute. Meanwhile, kicking off further, it will be Club Brugge taking, of course, Dinamo Kiev. Let's take a look at this one. Of course, played each other 3 times in recent years. Of course, 1 win for Club Brugge, nothing for Dinamo Kiev, and 2 draws, including a draw last time around, of course, just the other day. Of course, they played each other in Bruges back in 2019. It was a 1-0 win for Bruges. Kiev have actually drawn 5 of the last 6 matches in the Europa League coming into this. Kiev unbeaten in the last 5, picking up 3 wins, 2 draws to boot. Meanwhile, Bruges coming into this unbeaten in the last 4 as well, picking up 3 wins and a draw to boot. Of course, that draw was, of course, against Dinamo Kiev. Look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Club Bruges 5-4 for the victory, 23-10 is your Kiev, 11-5 is your draw in this one. Of course, I think I've gone with on this one. I've gone with Bruges to nick it with a 2-1 win to give themselves at least the win here. But what's that done with the overall? If you can't remember, I can't remember. We'll have a look at it in a minute. Of course, next, of course, Manchester United with 1 foot already in the next round. They'll fancy the chances on this one. They might even have to do this if, of course, they fall out of the top 4. They might want to to keep this in contention, of course. Played each other three times in recent years, of course. 2 wins for United, nothing for Sociedad, and 1 draw last time around at Old Trafford. Was a 1-0 win for United back in 2013 in the Champions League. Igno Martinez with the goal, big fat OG giving United the win. Of course, United undefeated in 22 of the last 24 matches in the Europa League. They're coming into this winning and at least unbeaten in the last 5 in all competitions. Of course, they're playing Newcastle United today, of course, prior to this. But heading into this, though, Sociedad just 1 defeat the past 5. That 1 defeat was against Manchester United, of course. They also beat Alaves just earlier today. It looks like 2-0 win for 4-0 win for Sociedad. Good win for them. Look at the biggest odds on this one. Maybe they'll turn the corner as well. I don't think it'll happen. They're 5-4 on for United. 65 is your Sociedad. 11-4 is your draw. Man United will probably play a weakened side here, thinking they've got enough in the tank. I think it'll be a 3-0 win. Not big, not as big as the previous one, but again, I think that's comfortably them through to the next round. Of course, Red Star going to AC Milan. Of course, Milan looking a little bit wobbly at the moment, losing to Inter Milan, hot off the press. Of course, played the last 3 times. These 2 sides, 2 wins for AC Milan, 1 draw. Of course, that draw last round. Last time played in Milan was back in 2006. Was 1-0 win for AC. Filippo Inzaghi on the score sheet. Of course, heading into this, Red Star have actually drawn the last 3 matches in the Europa League, whereas Milan have actually undefeated in the 9 last 10 matches in the Europa League. Heading into this, though, without a win in 3 games for AC Milan, all competitions. Of course, the last time they won was, of course, against Crotone. Of course, heading into this, unbeaten last 3. That's Red Star. Could they make it to another game? And I think they're playing right here, right now, and they are winning as well against Subotica out in the top flight out in Serbia. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Then shall, of course, AC Milan, of course, 5-2 on for the victory. 54 is your draw. 61 is your Belgrade. Belgrade will be happy with, of course, the result midweek last week, but of course, will they get another one here against AC Milan? I don't think it will happen. I think a 2-1 win for AC Milan, which will put up a good fight. But maybe it'll be 1-1 for the most part. Maybe Milan nicking it right at the death. Next, of course, Leicester against Slavia Prague. Of course, Leicester doing very, very well. Of course, just watched them today. Who did they play? They played, of course, Aston Villa, and they came out on top. Of course, these 2 sides played just the one time in recent years. Of course, it was just the other way. It was a 0-0 draw. Leicester coming into this winning 4 of the past 6 games. Of course, the other 2 were draws. So unbeaten the last 6. Of course, Slavia Prague also on a similar sort of record, winning 3 of the past 6. Of course, drawing 3 of the last 4, though. Of course, drawing against Tbilisi this weekend out in their top flight. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. Leicester coming at you at 50-8 for the victory. 29-10 is your 11-2 is your Slavia Prague. Of course, this is over in Leicester. King Power. Fancy Leicester, of course, continue their form from this weekend and prior, and another win here with a 2-0 win over Slavia Prague to go through to the next round. Of course, Roma taking on Braga, another game that could, of course, go either way. Of course, Roma with the advantage from the first leg, 2-0. Of course, prior, heading into stuff, winning 4 of the past 5 games in all competitions. That's Roma. Their only hiccup was a defeat to Juventus. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 5 games for Braga. That was, of course, against Roma, and they were playing Tottenham out in the Portuguese top flight today, as of recording. So that might influence their form and their lineups and whatnot. Heading into 20-11 on for Roma, they are the Stone Cold favourites. 3-1 is your 5-1 is your Braga. Braga coming at you, of course, ready for this one. Of course, will they fancy the chance? I don't think they'll get the win. I think they're gone with a 2-1 win for Roma to take 3 points, or not 3 points, but of course potentially move on. We'll have a look at the aggregate score in a minute. Next, of course, Zagreb taking on, of course, Krasnodar, this time over in Croatia. Of course, played each other just the one time in recent years. Of course, that was just the other day, 3-2 win for Zagreb. Big away day win. They've actually won 4 in the spin for them in all competitions. Meanwhile, Krasnodar back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Zagreb, losing to Sochi as well, out in the Russian top flight as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Zagreb coming at you 30-10 for the victory. 21-10 is your Krasnodar. 23-10 is also your draw. I'm anticipating Croatian Zagreb to go through on this one. Dinamo to get the win. 2-0 win in the end. A big win for them. And again, looks like they're going to be moving through to the next round. Here we go. Is the big one, of course. Leverkusen up against Young Boys Bern. Played each other 3 times in recent years. 2 wins for Young Boys Bern. Nothing for Leverkusen, and 1 draw. Last time around, of course, was the other day. 4-3 win for Young Boys. They haven't played each other in Leverkusen, so we'll anticipate that. But Leverkusen coming into this just 1 win the past 6 games. That 1 win is against Stuttgart, 5-2 win. Before and around that, of course, not been very, very good since they've been back-to-back draws out in the Bundesliga, including a draw against Augsburg this weekend. 5 wins on the spin for Young Boys. They're looking very, very good. And probably, I fancy the chances on this one. Leverkusen actually scored at least 3 goals in the last 5 matches heading into this. But the bookies odds, what do they think about this one? Of course, Leverkusen 50-8 for the victory. 92 is your away win. 60-5 is your draw. For me, I'm going to go with, I think, but reluctantly, going to go with the Leverkusen with a 3-1 win. But it could go to Young Boys on this one. Of course, their form is with them, but I think it's going to be just enough for the Bundesliga side to go through to the next round. PSV Eindhoven taking on, of course, Olympiacos. Another game that could go either way. Of course, they played each other twice in recent years. Of course, Olympiacos heading into this with a 4-2 lead. Heading into this, Olympiacos winning 4 games of the past 5 games. For the past 5 games, their only defeat was against Panathinaikos a couple of games back. Of course, last time around in the Greek league, they're actually playing right here, right now. It was a 0-0 draw against somebody, I'm not too sure. But anyway, heading into this, just 1 win in the past 4 games for PSV. PSV. That was against VT's Arnhem out in the Dutch leagues. A big win, of course. VT's were flying high in the Dutchlands. Of course, heading into this, even Stevens for PSV, 5-2 draw, 13-5 is Olympiacos. Of course, Olympiacos have the lead in the leg. They'll need a big swing if they're going to go through. 2-1 win. I don't think it's good enough. PSV will win on the day, but I think they might crash out on aggregate. Arsenal taking, of course, Benfica. Of course, Arsenal played these two sides, of course, 4 times in the past 2 wins for Arsenal, 1 for Benfica, and 1 draw. Last time around in London was a friendly. Doesn't really count, but of course, they're coming into this on a 1-1 draw. Of course, Arsenal playing Manchester City as of right here, right now. They are losing. They've actually just won once of the past 5 prior to this game today. And that one was against, of course, Leeds. Meanwhile, Flipside Benfica coming to this winning, actually unbeaten the last 5, picking up 2 wins and 3 draws to boot. Also playing this weekend against Faranese out in the Portuguese flight, yet to kick off over there. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Of course, Arsenal coming at you, and on this one, 20-19 on for the victory. They are your favourites. 14-5 is your draw. 5-2 is your Benfica on this. Difficult one, this one, but I think Arsenal will have enough in the tank with a 2-0 win to go potentially go through, of course, with the draw from the first leg. Next, of course, another fruity one are Rangers up against Antwerp. Let's take a look at this one. Then shall, of course, please show that earlier in the campaign, just the other week, of course, a 7-goal thriller in favour of Arsenal. So Arsenal, I mean Rangers. Bloody hell, sort it out. Of course, Antwerp coming in just losing, at least without a win in 3, losing to Bruges, losing to Standard Liège, of course, losing to Rangers, playing Sint-Truiden today out in the Belgian Europa League. Of course, Rangers winning 4 of the past 5 games. Only hiccup was against Hamilton Academicals on the road. They'll fancy the chances on this one. I'm sure the bookies will too as well. Rangers will be on this one. Where are you, Rangers? 94 on for the victory. 6-1 is your Antwerp. 16-5 is your draws. There's a lot of goals in this one. A 2-1 win would it be good enough? No, it wouldn't be good enough. Of course, the Rangers have a good advantage with the goal. I've gone with the draw on this one. I think it will be a bit tight. And a 2-1 win though for Antwerp will not see them through. Of course, Rangers with the massive goal, away goals for them last round. Next, of course, Villarreal taking, of course, Salzburg. Played each other 5 times over the years. Of course, 3 wins for Villarreal, 2 for Salzburg. Last time played each other in Spain was back in 2015. It was a 2-1 win for Villarreal. Goal scorers on the day. That was in the Europa League, of course. Ikuruchu Uche, Dennis Cheryshev on the score sheet, with Jonathan Soriano getting the goal for Salzburg. They played each other, of course, just the day. 2-0 win for Villarreal. They've actually won 3 on the spin. Villarreal, though, have actually won 6 of the last 7 matches in the Europa League, keeping a clean sheet in the last 3 as well. They come into this, though, just 1 win the past 5 games in all competitions, and 1 win against Salzburg, playing Bilbao today. On the flip side, 5 wins in the past 6 games for Salzburg. Their only defeat was, of course, against Villarreal in the Europa League. Look at the bookies odds on this one, then, shall we? What do we have on this one? Villarreal actually 20-17 on for the actually 13-5 is draw. 3-1 is your Salzburg. Difficult one again, hard. Villarreal are an awkward side, but I think they'll have enough 3-1 win to take it probably through to the next round. Next, of course, another one that's level after the first leg. Hoffenheim against Molde out of Norway. Of course, played each other 3-3 last time around. Heading into this, though, Hoffenheim without a win in 4 games, picked up 2 defeats and 2 draws to boot. Meanwhile, Molde coming into this 2 games unbeaten, of course. Not sure who the heck this team was. Stram Godset, maybe? No, Salzburg back in December, of course. Maybe they're more fit and raring to go. I don't know. Maybe a bit game rusty. Anyway, Hoffenheim heading into this, scoring at least 2 goals in 6 of the last 7 matches in Europa League. Also undefeated in their last 8 out of the Europa League as well. Molde, though, scoring 2 goals in the last 3. Heading into this, though, the bookies odds on this one, then, shall we? Hoffenheim 7-2 on for the victory. 50-2 is your Molde. 90-4 is the draw. Molde will get the win on this one. 2-1 win is enough, I think, to send them through. Next up, a difficult one. Napoli up against Granada. This one could be seen one of the big boys crashing out. Of course, 2-0 at the moment for Granada in the first leg. Granada coming into this just 1 win the past 4. 1 win the past 5. Sorry, taking on Huesca today. I fancy them to win that one. But of course, their only 1 win in the past 5 is against Napoli. Prior to that, 2 defeats and 2 draws to boot. Meanwhile, Napoli just 1 win the past 5 as well. That was against Juventus. Also taking on Atalanta as of right here, right now. That is live at the moment. Of course, Granada, I think they've just actually scored as of we're speaking. So 2 teams are probably going to get wins today, it looks like. We'll see. Well, I don't know about Napoli. But anyway, the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Napoli with the advantage. Granada with the advantage. They are 92 with the long shots. Granada for the victory. 13-8 is your Napoli. They are your favourites for this match. 14-5 is your draw. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Napoli, but again, I don't think that's enough to see them through. We'll see you in a minute. Shakhtar Donetsk taking on, of course, Maccabi Tel Aviv. Of course, Ukraine up against Israel. Of course, played each other in the last how many times? Of course, 6-4 on. What am I looking at? I'm jumping the gun. Of course, played each other just the 1 time in recent knowledge. Of course, was a win for Shakhtar Donetsk just the other day. Heading into this, though, Shakhtar Donetsk winning 4 of the past 6 games. The other 2 were draws. Drawing with Inter, drawing with Crvena out in the Ukrainian Premier League. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 6 for Tel Aviv. That 1 defeat was against Shakhtar Donetsk, of course, playing. They're not playing in Israeli League. I think there's a bit of a break at the moment. Not playing till the start of March. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Shakhtar Donetsk 6-4 on for the victory. 70-4 is your Tel Aviv. 13-5 is your draw on this one. I've gone with Shakhtar Donetsk to win this one. 3-1. I think that's going to be well comfortable enough for this to see them through. And then I'll wrap it up. A bit of a fruity one here. Of course, course, Ajax taking, of course, Lille over in the Dutch. They've scored each other 3 times in recent years. There's been 3 wins out of 3 for Ajax. Last time around in the Dutch was a 3-0 win back in 2019 in the Champions League. Of course, heading into this, winning 4 games on the spin. Also taking on Rotterdam today. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Lille come into this, taking on Lorient today, comfortably winning 4-1 as of right here, right now. That game is live. But back-to-back games without a win prior to this, drawing with Brest, losing to Ajax, of course, but they'll get back to winning ways today against Lille. Look at the bookies odds on this one. This one's difficult. This one's very, very hard. Of course, 43 on for Ajax, 10-3 is your draw, 11-4 is your draw on this one. Ajax won the first leg. They'll probably win the second leg, and I think that'll be enough for them to go through. Let's take a little look at it, shall we? Of course, we have one picks in there. Be sure to get your picks in as well. I don't know. I think you should just predict your legs on this one. Don't predict your aggregate because that'll confuse the shit out of me. But anyway, we're going to go with, of course, Spurs will go through 7-1 on aggregate. Bruges also go 3-2 as well. United will go through 7-0 quite comfortably. Arsenal as well going through. AC Milan with a 4-3 win aggregate. Rangers coming out on top with a 5-4 on aggregate. Leicester 2-0 win on aggregate as well. Villarreal with a 5-1 win on total. Of course, Roma also going through. Zagreb will be a difficult one. No one will want to play them. Of course, Leverkusen coming through the back door here with a 3-1 win over Young Boys Bern. Hoffenheim also through as well. 2 Bundesliga sides at least. There, Napoli will go out. Like I said, Granada squeaking through. Shakhtar Donetsk, another side you don't want to play, of course. And Ajax comfortable win with a 4-2 win on aggregate. And right here, right now, of course, another away day win there. Of course, Olympiacos going through. As you can see, these are the teams that will remain. And of course, we'll have the draw will take place later on. And of course, we'll see who will play who. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this. We'll do it all again next time around, of course, for the next legs, the last 16, and I will be there with all of it. Until then, be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. We'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then, make sure you check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and again, if you want to support the channel in another way, you could become the latest member of the Patreon gang. But until then, though, I'll see you all soon. Sorry for the lateness, they're here. Get your picks in now. I'll see you all next time.